Good evening, RPG Limit Break, and welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer Summer Co-op Tournament 2024. We are in the round of 8 here, quarter final action for you between Team Gaming Gators made up of Spellzap and Crab Cakes. And then we versus the Krakenos made up of Odoron and Oslato. My name is Sofnum, and I am joined in the booth by Thavian Hawk. How are you doing today, Thavian?
I do. Let's talk about the parties and blessings. We see Oslato locking in there. I think he had the Fighter Thief White-Black. We have a Forced Fighter and Forced Black Mage with that Thief and White Mage being picked up by choice. Fighter coming with the Elemental Magic, so sweepers early, couple casts, and plus 10% hit, which is excellent value. The Thief we saw take had plus axes, so some extra weapon selection options, as well as Hurt Undead, which can come in handy when you face some pretty brutal, potentially unrunnable packs with this flag set. The Red Mage, which we did not see on his party, plus Lock 2 and plus 40 Strength, which is nice, but not seeing the Red Mage wouldn't shock me, given the White Mage has Resist, Space, Ice and Poison, but plus Legendary Sword, so swing a big stick if you find it, but otherwise a little more survivable. And the Black Mage, which we do have by force, has Protection from Fire and Lightning, and then the Wood Evade set, so if they put all of the wood armor pieces on that Black Mage, you'll have a substantial buff to survivability.
Yeah, so it seems like that the Fighter Thief White-Black is going to be a pretty popular choice here. The Thief making things actually runnable is extremely valuable on this flag set.
With the randomized floors that we'll be seeing, we could have the first few early dives literally be right into sky or right into sea and have packs that you will not be able to survive.
Right, until you either take something down or you have XP chests where you can kind of find some early experience, which is always nice to kind of boost you up there. Looks like Spellzap also went, showing us what items we have. Nothing too exciting. Cloth plus 6 isn't terrible, but, you know, something to put on, something to wear.
And we find Toph.
Yeah, the Temple of Fiends immediately. We're going to check these chests. While Crab Cakes appears to have found Marsh Top.
Yep, she's got Frost. Actually, that's Marsh Mid. And that's a X chest with 3 Frosties. She's got color palette swap on, so those looked like RDs, but they were not. And, well, there is Marsh Top. So Marsh Top. That's 2 marsh floors identified.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Odoron, our first runner to take on Garland, finds Garland isn't happy with the existence of the Black Mage. Has Sleep Touch and Insta-Death magic.
But we get through it anyway. Gaining level 3 in the process, which isn't too bad. And a princess who will go off somewhere. Oh no, a ghoul. And we will find the princess later. See if Spellzap has any more luck with Garland here in the Sleep Touch. Looks like we're on Drake's strats a little bit. Garland still not happy with that 3rd slot there. Notable that set RNG is on today, so that means that when we see a fight, it's going to generally follow the same sort of path as the other fights. And Spellzap having to reset out of Garland.
Not getting the luck on that one. Meanwhile, Oslato going up to Toph finds the marsh bottom. So that's all 3 floors of marsh. That's 1 incentive found. That is the canal. So that's our first incentive dug up. Meanwhile, Crab Cakes finds Northwest Castle at Matoya's. So we've got runners on both teams going towards Provoca and Lefane, with the bridge to Lefane going. Otherwise, 2 runners. I'm assuming Spellzap is going to be heading east from Corneria once he's done with this Garland fight.
Yep, that spells out gets through, and that's kind of what I was talking about with the set RNG. You can see that spells out kind of rearranged his party and kind of controlled who was getting hit and who stayed up, and that fighter was able to stay up and use their elemental magic to take care of Garland there.
Yep, and that is Crabcake's done picking up Matoya's Closet, getting some experience, which is huge early, some levels on that party without having to take any fights. Also see her burning off a quick encounter in the encounter table, getting a fairly good run post-encounter, probably going to make it all the way to Lefane from that check on Matoya's.
Yeah.
Oh, and Sarda was found by Oslato at Dwarves, so that's another incentive item picked up. The Adamant.
Oh, and here we have Guy 4. Check some boxes here, see if there's anything exciting. Ooh, that's exciting. A ribbon +5 that we pulled out of Sky 2, I think.
Sky 1, but that is a
Oh,
non-incentive ribbon, so that's a loose, just standard item. We get a chance, we see Melman Fast Temper Quadex all at level 5 black. That is painful.
Yeah.
Life 2 and Ruse, not horrible to see, but again, level 5.
Yeah, level 5 is not... I mean, you're going to get some charges of it, but it would be nice to see some of those kind of spread out and kind of in lower levels.
Quick check at the armor shop, nothing too special. Finds the wood helm and the wood plate, though. Gonna pick that up for the Black Mage in case they find the third part of that.
The shield, I believe, would be the third part.
Yes, indeed. Autoron picking up his ribbon as CC finishes clearing the other two rooms and looks towards what is beyond Sky 1. Finds C.
Yep. While Slotto is checking what Marsh is for us, and that is going to be... Oh.
That's Lich. Weird.
Lich.
And that's Carrie behind Sky 1. So that's 2 Fiends found immediately. CC checking an Xbox at Red Dragon Chest finds a Shark and trying to get away because both were fighters. She's rolling dual fighter, unlike her teammate Spellzap, who's gone with the Thief. So there's some variance. And CC resets out.
Yeah, probably not going much places with both of those fighters taking naps.
We have Agamaflor here for Oslato down in the Elfland area. That's a fairly chest-dense area, can get a good run out with the lava tiles.
Ooh, nice XP chest. There's a worm who's kind of making us a little bit sad.
Well, the lava tiles putting the characters down to 1 to 8 range of health, not helping.
Yep.
Gonna potion up out of that. Still no sign of a boat, still no sign of a canoe though, so...
Yeah,
no way out of the
places-
inner sea.
Yeah, running out of places that we really kind of can be looking here.
We do have hint givers on, so if Crabcakes or one of the other runners wants to check what the hint giver in Melman might say, that could give us an idea. But for the moment, it's a search for maybe a loose, and there's Carrie's floor for Odoron. Gonna probably check what the red D chest is, just to be sure, but definitely not taking the fight against Carrie. And there Oslato finding that Sky 2 is also available, so... a lot of fairly late game locations early.
We don't even bother checking the plus chest here, but we are going to kind of make our way around the spider here and see what we have to see.
Oh my word, is Spellzap going after Lich? I approve. Let's see our first Fiend fight. It's just at 7 minutes. Going with Ice 2, it looked like. Nope, Fire 2, that makes more sense. 108 damage, that's pretty good going, but these are scaled up to, I believe, up to 200% or more for these Fiends, so this is going to be a pretty hard fight if you only have 2 cast of Fire 2 and are relying on heal pots and luck, and Hold stops the cast, so...
Ooh, that's not great.
Thief does a little bit of good damage, but that fighter is still immobile. Heal pot coming up to try and keep the fighter alive. Whoa, the hurt undead on that Thief, 200 plus damage, but lit 2 knocking down everyone but the black mage and the Thief. Heal pot comes up, hurt undead swing, 43 damage. That's more like it. Dark landing on both the remaining party members, but nothing too dangerous. We don't have improved dark enabled. Gonna get 35 damage. Really needs to get some hit or some crits or some multi-hits to take advantage of that hurt undead. 67 damage is not gonna do enough. Oh, there you go. Hold again. And Spell Zap says, nope, not ready for this, and resets out. But that is some good intel, because as you said earlier, set RNG. If he can note that down, he or CC could have a much better time taking that fight later.
Yeah, and just kind of knowing what Lich is capable of now, too, will just be extremely valuable, you know, trying to pull those ribbons out, trying to, you know, keep some people away from the sleep.
Ozlato making his way through the Agma floor, going to start searching up what's here on the Sky 2 spider floor as CC is on her way down, digging items out of that Agma floor. There was a lot of gold there. Interesting. Ozlato just going to check what's behind it, and there we go. There is Waterfall proc gen. So that is a incentive item to be picked up. That's probably going to be our canoe or ship at this point. We have not found anything that would point to the key or some other item.
Yep.
Note.
Probably the boat. Oh, it's a crown. But we know where Northwest Castle is, so...
And the loose TNT. One of our 3 loose.
We know where to turn the TNT into, so some early fetch quests.
Wait, did we find dwarfs? I thought Sarda was at dwarfs. I didn't think we've seen dwarfs.
Oh, maybe we haven't seen dwarfs.
Yeah, we saw Matoya, so if we get the crystal, we know to go from there. Either way, Frost doing some brutal damage to Ozlato's party, making it less likely for him to actually run and survive. If this is runnable at all, I didn't see if it was runnable or not. Ooh, 1 health. Yep, it is runnable, but he's trying to get the fight. Has no more sweepers available. And Life 2 with no charges does nothing, even if it could do something, because Life 2 in battle is not enabled, Life 1 is. Okay, Ozlato wipes, but knows what's down there, really wants that crown, because that is our progression.
Yep.
Meanwhile, CC actually clearing all the spots in Sky 2 that Ozlato skipped, so there could be something big. I mean, a chunk of experience, nice. Oh, Odoron is on his way to turn in the crown because because this is a co-op run, those incentive items that are found get synchronized between the party or the players. Even though Ozlato died, that synchronization means he and his partner still have it. He goes back in, gets that ribbon, and he can move on. Ooh, Ice Shield +2, also another big find. So Sky 1 paying, or is it Sky 2 paying big? Yeah, Sky 2 paying big.
Yeah, Sky 2, I think.
That means we found 2 ribbons, Sky 1 and Sky 2, both having ribbons.
That is... Sky provides one, supposes. So let's go see what the crown is for us here. I didn't quite catch it.
It is our canoe, so that's access to the river system. So 3 location checks. Crack from... yeah.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, we don't have any resistance to instant death items just yet.
We do have 1 ribbon.
CC picking up the crown, gonna find the TNT, also checking some other boxes, finding another 2 chests with 6,000 experience. That's gonna make for a lot of value when they have to face this Crackerjack encounter. Please pinch me for that. I deserve some sort of punishment for that that pun, or whatever it would be.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but let's see if some magic helps us here. 75. Ooh, a fire. Nice script access.
Oh, heal 3. That
Heal
is really,
3.
really dick move. Okay. Set RNG, so we know first turn crack every time.
Yeah, so who did we stand up this time?
Nope, they didn't shuffle his party at all. He just went in with the same. He's keeping the ribbon on the fighter, not moving the party around.
So just going for magic, really. It looks like.
Yeah.
Use our casts. Hopefully, it'll be enough. See, you're gonna get lucky. No.
Paper comes out. Next thing's up is going to be heal 3.
Heal 3. Yep. Just not doable right now. Need some levels.
Yep, while Odoron is bailing out on that, Spell Zap, having gotten that crown from CC, heading up that way. Gonna get that turn. Oh! Spell Zap heading further. I don't think he remembers the crown was at Matoya's. Yep, he went to Matoya because CC said Matoya. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Easy confusion.
Yep, makes sense. Crab Cake's actually pretty good on levels. I saw fighters with 300 hit points. Had taken a lot of encounters in Volcano.
Not just the encounters, it's the sheer volume we've seen of those 6,000 XP chests. Those have been huge value. Crack coming out for Spell Zap, takes down all but the fighter, but that fighter is swinging a passable sword. Gonna switch to Ice 2, just like we saw from Odoron. Ice 2 cast, second one coming out, 54 damage there. Ice 2 right back. We did not see that before. Slow we did not see either, so we're seeing some differences in the script here. There's the X-Fur. Swing in, 2 hits, 56, and heal 3. What is past heal 3? Or Odoron left after that, so... Lit 2. This is...
An X-Fur and a Lit 2. and a slow that actually lands.
Oh my word. I think, yeah, CC's party has much more experience and power. CC is on her way to reinforce as Spell Zap is heading elsewhere.
Yeah.
In fact, I think Spell Zap is heading towards the Fane, which is where Carrie's floor is.
Yeah, CC definitely going to try and pick up this canoe. Hopefully get a few more locations and gain some more of our progression.
Yeah, CC with the 2 fighters having Quad X available with charges as well. Both fighters survive. They've got evidently enough MDef, but also CC resetting out. Did not save right there, so a bit more of a run, but... Oh yeah, she has 2 ribbons. She went to both Sky and Sky 1 and 2, so she's the only one that has both ribbons. As they were non-incentive, they all had to pick them up.
Yep, and Spell Zap going and picking up ribbons while Crab Cakes tries again with the ribbon now on this Astos, casting some Quad X, which has 600, which may, like, just do us here. Yep. Good strategy from Crab Cakes. She
is a veteran for this very, very, very decorated veteran, and that move was the right move, clearly. So Canoe, Spell Zap sitting there at that northern river entrance, waiting for it to synchronize to just head down as Crab Cakes moves on to somewhere to res her party. I believe we found Melmond is the only place we found so far.
I think Melmond is the only place that we found, and there's not a place at Melmond, but you can buy Life 2 at Melmond.
They do have a clinic in Melmond. That's one of the added things. And whoa, first location found, Spell Zap. Ice Cave, I believe, found the crystal from the princess.
Ooh.
And the king has the Oxale, so that's unlocks whatever's behind the on-rack floor And that also gives us a quick trip to Provoka, where Matoya is located, to get her item. I could imagine Spell Zap is probably going to head back to Matoya's, unless CC is going to head that way. It looks like CC is going to head south, so Spell Zap may just book it out because he's closer to Provoka. Yep, there he goes. CC, however, is going to fight Lich.
Counter off and gonna go try her hand at Lich. Switching her to Dan's around.
Fast cast coming out with those levels, 14 on the party, so that's going to help with that axe possibly doing a good chunk of damage. Meanwhile, teammate picking up the ship from the crystal, so once they're out of this, they have full access to the map, minus the Cardia Isles and the Gaia check. So, map open for their team, and wow, Crabcake seeing some work out of Dan and his fasted axe swings. The red mage goes down, but the axe does some more damage, 220.
Ooh,
Dark coming out does nothing. Go with the swing, go with the fire. Sleep 2 landing or not landing at all. Fire 2 doing the damage, and that is a orb lit for Crabcakes and Spell Zap. 100% experience buff from that one orb being lit. Meanwhile, Spell Zap actually finding Cardia Isle nothing, and then Crescent Lake is at Earth. So first trip out of the Inner Sea and a tail for sale. Huge finds. There's our cash item.
Yep, and Matoya had the ship. So now we have a lot of access, actually, almost everything.
Oslato going for the canoe fight does not have an active black mage with enough levels to have her Quadex available, so not getting the effective use that we saw Crabcakes get. Meanwhile, Spellzap talking to the sages and picking up an item. I missed just what it was. It was the Ruse Stick. That is something that will have to be picked up by Crabcake separately. It does not synchronize across like the incentive items, but that is a must-have.
Spells out finding the tail.
Yeah, that was the sale item in Crescent. So that is our incentive shop item found. So once they find promotion, they have access to it. That does synchronize, so Spellzap's got it. And a Harm Plus shirt available from that Xbox at Matoya's. Quick check by Spellzap, or by CC. Find something pretty potent for that white mage to use.
Yep.
Like Odoron finding Germeduses have frost magic and death and painful poisoning magics, and just no, don't want to deal with Germeduses.
Kraken, Oslato also having a couple of face down party members here after a fight in Marsh Pit.
Want to get some levels at some point, but having a lot of trouble. CC getting that run with having 2 ribbons, having a lot of X chests from exploration, definitely helped getting past that horrid fight for the canoe with Astos. Meanwhile, I did notice when Spellzap was in Crescent, checked the armor store, and there were gold bracelets +6 for sale, but they were over 20,000 gold. Nice to see if you can get them.
Yeah, Old Man had a TNT hint, which isn't very helpful since we already have it. But
Odoron trying to go for a Sky 1 grind really just thinks that's the best way to get experience, I guess. Meanwhile, Spellzap continuing diving, finding Mirage into ice. So Mirage 1 into ice. Ice is not incentivized, but we do have 3 loose items, only one of which has been found, and Ice Loop could have one of those items.
Yep, we've seen it be crucial in races in the past, so something
Speaking
that
of
maybe Oh, God.
Speaking of crucial, Crab Cakes going to Ordeals finds the promotion. That is a fully upgraded party at 2235. And spells out, no doubt, going to be heading right there once he's done with his current exploration.
Ooh,
And there's
and
the chime.
coming out of the treasury at Mirage.
That's actually big to see because the chime is we have the chime in the location randomized, so normally that would lock you out of Mirage Tower. In this case, that is locking them out of Elfland City. And there you go, Crabcake's going to that southern dock and or not Elfland City, Elf Castle. So there we go, we will finally see what's behind there, and it's just a Cardia Isle. But hey, some more chests to check.
Yep, just a few chests. And not really anything worth even bothering for, so the chime's a dud, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, Oslato using that white mage with an ice staff to just cast down. Oh my word, that's a floater coming out of the ice loop. That is huge for Spell Zap and Crab Cakes, but for the good, Odoron and Oslato now have the canoe. They are now free to expand, and the ice cave just pays. That is the loot as well. Oh my word.
Yeah,
Sky provides. Ice is like chills.
Yeah, and that's all of our loose items too, if I'm counting correctly.
Yes it is. So exploration be good. That is well, we have the water or the Oxyale in hand, so finding the on-rack at Titan's West, and we saw Sky 2 or Mirage 2 I should say, greater than less than floor at Sarda's. So we will see what's behind the Oxyale check, and it's Lava Floor before Agma Floor.
So it looks like Odoron and Oslato did get their canoe and are opening up the locations here, and we'll be catching up with the Gators here in a little bit.
They will make their way out of the Inner Sea. Oh, wow. Oslato did not kill Astos yet, so had not freed the princess and is not going to get the crystal. That is unfortunate because that item that the crystal turns into is the ship.
Yep, so probably gonna go and beat Garland here real quick, maybe.
Yeah,
not sure.
Meanwhile, Spell Zap taking on level 6 magic finds Nuke and Lock 2, also picking up the tail from the store, and with the Skyboat, going to be able to, it'll take a bit more of a run to get there, but go to Ordeals and promote the party as Crab Cakes checks what's at Gaia, and I didn't see what it was, but she didn't care and left. Oh, I'm wrong. Spell Zap checking the Cardia Isles, not going to check or deal with whatever is oh, finds dwarfs. Oh, happy check there. Dwarfs. That's the TNT turn in and 2 immediate Xboxes.
Yep, some Catmen we don't really want to face. The Adamant's going to turn into the Cube.
That is one unseen lock bypassed yet again. So we had the Oxyale before finding On-Rack, the Cube before finding the Cube lock.
Yeah, this is probably the herb. Yeah, the herb. We haven't found Elfland Castle yet, right? So we still
we have not.
That in either.
We are down the Sky Fiend, the Sea Fiend, and Elfland Castle for the herb turn-in. We also, the big thing we're missing though is that key, because the key is all that's left to make them essentially in go mode. The key and those 2 locations for fiends.
Yep.
There is Ordeals for Spell Zap. That is going to be a incentive item. I don't know if it's random, but it's incentive and just has to make his way through.
Yep, it's in a randomized box this time. And Odoron pulling the floater pretty early, going into Ice Loop a little bit sooner after getting the canoe than I feel like the Gaming Gators did. So,
Well,
maybe
big.
up some time there.
Yeah, that's definitely big payoff getting that taken care of and going to be able to catch up with exploration. Meanwhile, Crab Cakes finds the key off that herb turn in because Elf Castle was at Waterfall. They are 2 fiend locations away from full go mode. Crazy.
Wait, where did they find the key?
The key was the herb turn in at Elf Castle,
okay.
which was Waterfall, and Spellzap, as we were speaking, has made it through ordeals, not going to bother with X chest, wants to check everything that's not to get that key item. At this point, the ruby is the only real dud for sure, because we do not need those those few chests of Titans to dud item. What I caster curse maybe?
Yeah, maybe, but it had to be out there somewhere. We know those chests don't really gain much of anything because they're not individually incentivized, and we have all our loses, so really this bottle of slab out of there to turn it into the rod.
It's interesting, CC is going to check it just to be sure. We know where Titan's West is, so yeah, never mind. CC's like, oh wait, what am I doing? And speaking of CC, spells out finding Sky 3, check CC's Gambit, find some gold, and nothing much. I will forever say, I've learned my lesson, never fade CC's.
Some gold this time, but you never know. I'm gonna go check the encounters here. Oh wait, no, this is just reversed. What did I do?
That's interesting. We had Crab Cakes finding Earth 1 and then jumping straight to Earth Armory.
Right.
So bypassing the rod lock altogether, thanks to our beautiful randomizer. One note, we have not found marsh or sea split, so there's a lot of deep dive maneuvering yet to be seen in this flag, or in this seed.
Yep. Guy was apparently fired at one of the fire floors, so further down we go.
And there's our rod lock floor.
Rod.
Sadly, rod is one of the items that none of our party teams have seen, so a bit of a clear out, but I wonder if Odoron realizes that all of the loose items have been found, so checking chests that aren't X's is less value.
And they know what both ribbons are, so...
Spells at finding C-Split, right side C-Split coming into Ice 2, which ironically was below Ice 1, so Ice 1 into C-Split and to Ice 2. Into Sky Maze.
And we reset out of a ninja. Heading...
I think Spellzap didn't mean to reset out, or just hadn't saved. Ooh, we have Lefane. Oh, nope, Spellzap reset out is going for, was that a Harm shirt, I believe that was in there?
Yep, Harm 2 shirt, I think.
As Crab Cakes in Lefane, checking out the Superstore, gonna stock up on magic, post-promotion, so she can get level 1 through 3 white magic on those nights. What we have at level 2 we have not seen, that is life. Ooh, that is huge. Life on those nights. We've seen that come in beyond clutch throughout this tournament.
And that means, too, that, you know, Crab Cakes has, you know, 3 or 4 party members that can cast life, which is just really, really great. For survivability and Topher.
Yeah, also picking up level 4 exits, so a little more maneuverability there. Spellzap, having the key, is going to check Cardiac Treasure, see what we've got in that incentive location. If it's the rod, that's cool. If it's the slab, that's okay. If it's the incentive ribbon, that's amazing.
Oh, it is just the rod. Well, we know where rod lock is now, so...
Odoron and Oslato know where Rotlock is. Meanwhile, Odoron actually about to check and find the promotion check with Bahamut at Ordeals. Unfortunately, has not been to Melman to buy the tail. So, and speaking of Spellzap actually going there, unless we missed Odoron picking it up. So, nope, Odoron did not have the tail. His teammate about to tell him, oh, the tail's for sale here. And worse off, his teammate Oslato does not have the gold for the tail, so he's going to have to sell items if he wants to get it.
No, he had the gold.
Oh, never mind.
I think he's just doing the shopping while his teammate takes the ribbon.
Taking advantage of the synchronous items. So that is Odoron first on his team to promote. Meanwhile, Spellzap promoting finally. As Crabcakes continues the dive down into C-split right side.
Finds the Sky Maze.
Going up to the right.
Right.
I'd be disappointed, but I can't be disappointed. She's better than me at this game. She's better than most people at this game, so I'll let her be.
Most people are better than me, so. And we found reverse volcano treasury.
Don't have any loose items left, so searching only really for X chests, I guess. No, just still taking some chests to find something. The X chests cannot have incentive items, but they do have a higher preponderance of good items, so some nice things could be found in those X chests. Plus the experience you get from the fights, which could pay off quite handsomely.
Yep, experience pretty valuable. Come Topher, you're gonna really wish you had the levels. We've seen Topher be really, really mean this tournament, so cannot underestimate how that's gonna go.
Well, there's that loose that I guess we had one more loose, or that was an incentive in a location in C. Yeah, C random incentive. That was the third ribbon out of C right side, or the TFC floor, which then instead of going into Mermaids goes to Sharknado. So, and a Sun +3. Oh my word, C is providing so well.
Yeah, Sun +3, the best sword we've seen so far, unfortunately.
Speaking of mermaids, Oslato finding mermaids, and as he was wanted as being a member of the Bubble Soda Company, he has carbonated bubbles. I believe he's a member of Bubble Soda Company, or he's just obsessed with carbonating bubbles. Either way.
Either way.
For now, he is Krakenose as Odoron picks up the Roo Stick.
See what's behind our monster in a box here. Just a Gershark and an eye. Hopefully not too bad.
There's
there's Marsh Split.
Yep, CC and Marsh Split. Well, Spellzap is on the Bridge of Destiny. That is Tia located. Spellzap deciding no.
Not yet.
Does not have exit, having not picked that up like Crabcakes did at Lefane, so it's going to have to run it out.
Oh, and finds...
Oh, this is big. Odoron is now in CC's, is going to probably check the chest and find that incentive ribbon while it's there, and find Tia, so that's more info. That would be all three of the themes that Gaming Gators have found will be found by Krakenose. But still, only one fiend has been fought and won, and that's Spellzap and CC with that kill on Lich, which gives them a noticeable gain in gold and experience in fights.
And you can just see that in their levels. I mean, if you compare across, especially Crabcake's making good use of that extra. Looks like we found Provoca because we're fighting some pirates.
Yep. There goes Bicky's crew getting electrified, I believe. And there's the slab, which we know where Melman is. We know where Spellzap is right now in the Fane. In fact, I'm assuming Cece's going to go straight to Melman to translate. So once Spellzap's done getting all the magic on his party, he can just pick up that incentive item from... Yep, there she goes. Right to Melman. She's going to translate, and Cece or Spellzap will pick it up. There is 3 ribbons acquired by Odoron. Full kit. And ooh, that was a Opal Shield +6 found by Oslotto in one of those chests. That was pretty spicy.
Crabcake's coming over here. I guess just we hadn't checked these.
There is the bottle, so the only outstanding item behind that bottle at this point is going to be our Power Bonk. Unless the Vorpal is in the incentive pool, I can't remember.
Vorpal's not in the incentive pool, but you can find it.
I know it's not in the incentive pool. We don't have an Excal in this flag set because it was broken as all get out. In a good way.
Yep. No Excal, there's a Masa, but we know where the Masa is, and it is in Topher, so you don't get to use it until you're on the 3rd Fiend, so...
Speaking of weapons, Crabcake's pulling a Fire +3 sword, or Fire Sword +3 out of Toflocked, it looked like. And there it is, Odoron finding Bridge of Destiny, and is like, can I fight Tia?
Probably not, but we're even.
Oslotto checking what's behind the chime lock, now that they've got it, and I'm going to assume in the near future, probably the next 5 or so minutes, we're going to see Krakenos start trying to bust down Lich and Carry. Oslotto going to promo now that he's got the tail, obviously. Gonna take that run. But I'm going to assume that Krakenos is going to start busting down what fiends they know as Crabcakes and Spellzap. Crabcakes is going towards Carry, and Spellzap is still searching.
Yep, still diving down here. Trying to find... I don't think they got further than this. I think Crabcakes had to reset out. That's or maybe accidentally did.
It's Gaia. That's our turn in for the bottle. And Brack, because one fun thing about the set RNG is if you just randomly decide maybe this will work, and you get the cast and it works, you can tell your teammate who hasn't fought that fiend yet, okay, turn 4, use Crack, it'll work.
Yeah, which is really kind of neat. And the Saber Bonk is what the fairy is holding today.
That is huge. That's... Crabcakes is definitely going to go to Gaia and pick that up after this fight. We will see our first run at Carry. Would you like to take it?
Sure. And we're just going to come out swinging, a little bit of temper, a little bit of fast. That must be our fighter with the Sun Sword there in the second. A little bit of Root Stick. 158 4 hits, not too bad. Carry making a hit into that second slot, but not doing a whole lot of damage. Ooh. Spell Poison coming out, doing a little bit of damage, but not taking anybody out. 6 hits. 607 it looked like that was done there. 3 hits, 32. Now we're just going to swing, see if Quadex will take out Carry, and we still have more than 600 hit points, but there goes 498 of them. Blaze coming out, not really hitting the 2 fighters there, but Quadex now, after that swing, getting Erase terminated, and that is the second orb lit for the Gaming Gators as Crabcakes takes on Carrie, and I think we're on the hunt for Kraken.
Yep, Kraken is our last fiend to find as Crabcakes goes to the air. Probably gonna go and get that bottle turn in that we know turns into the power bonk. Meanwhile, Ocelotto picking, I believe, well, Kraken knows at some point picked up the turned in the herb, so gets the key. I believe Crabcakes is, yep, Crabcakes is going back in for the dive, and ooh, Spells Out pulling an Ice Sword +5 out. This sword selection has been sweet. Sun Sword and Ice Sword for a Promade Fighter and Thief. That's big, and there's the incentive ribbon. That's where Crabcakes was going.
Yeah. Always good to get your incentive ribbon. I do want to shout out our trackers keeping us honest here. Ravioli, Mecklin, and Rax helping out here, and Darkman doing our restreaming. Have the best crew here keeping us on the straight and narrow as we watch these teams race in the Summer Co-op 2024 Final Fantasy Randomizer Tournament.
Yes, being able to look at our notes that have been so nicely taken, just saying this is here, this goes to here, so much simpler than having to actually think. Talking without thinking, it's nice.
It is kind of nice, and it's you don't have to play that. Did they get that? Where was that kind of game? And they're just kind of writing it all down for us, and it is great. While our teams are kind of retreading space here a little bit, getting caught up with each other. What was that, Ordeals?
Ordeals had our ruby, so it was the Womp item.
So
Crabcakes in Gaia gonna get the power bonk.
Yep.
Odoron has not. Krakenos have not run it, so they do not know it's there.
Oh, so they don't know it's the ruby. So
at this point, Spell Zap and Crabcakes have a substantial lead in what they have done, what intel they have. Spell Zap quite clearly happy with what they've got stats and skills wise, is going straight for Tia. Once they get that third orb, Warmech choosing not to take the fight, understandably so, because that was a very insta stomp to the death ninja. Praise the robot chicken.
Just pow. We're gonna move our fighter to the 4th slot. Tia. So
Roostic going, does she go in Biz cast 1? Then we've got fast cast going on the ninja for the Roos and the fast. Swings with that ice sword, it looked like. Fast coming out, nope, on the knight. Invis coming on the knight. So Roostic on the ninja up front, then evasion stacks with Invis. Gonna cure the thief to keep it up. Temper coming out, Saber Bonk coming out. So this slot 4 knight is getting buffed as the evasion stacks continue on the ninja. Tia continuing to fight the ninja. Ooh, Crabcakes found carry. But Invis coming out. Gonna switch to Lock to help with evasion limitations on that Tia. Saber Bonk coming out. The white mage goes down. There's no life coming out from that white mage. No more evasion stacks. No more healing. Gonna go with swing, gonna go with lit 3, and gonna start uncorking the damage with that knight. Swings with the ice sword, 500 plus damage there on 6 hits. This is actually good damage. Gonna go with swing, gonna go with the weight, and go with swing. 84 damage. Nope, using one of the life casts to try and bring the white mage back up, which worked. Definitely wants to use it for more evasion, wants the experience on that white mage. There's the swing with the knight, 410. Would not be shocked to see a quad X try here, but that Fire 2 eliminating the life that was given to the white mage. Not going to quad X, going to start using heal pots, looks like, with that black mage. Meanwhile, swings 5 hits, picks up another 200 plus damage. Another swing, 450. This is not going to be that long-lived of Tia at this rate, although Tia not doing any favors to Spell Zap's party. 5 more hits, 600 damage. Dark comes out, that's a free turn. Weight swing. That evasion capped and ninja doing a lot to save, and there you go. That is the orb down and lit. Spell Zap, Tia cleared as Kraken is taken out. Crab Cake's Black Mage.
Yep. And they actually had
exfer on Kraken here, so just sort of waiting to see what happens there. And also while Spellzap was fighting Tia, Oslato got through Lich on the Krakenos side. While we're gonna give Quad X a try, 3 hits, 316 it looked like. A nuke comes out. Ooh, big hit into that white mage. And Quad X does do its job, and Crab Cakes is through the 4th Fiend, and Team Gaming Gator is ready for Topher, or at least item ready for Topher.
Yes, the air quotes in your initial ready for Topher being the levels in the 20s at the most is not safe. Not safe at all. We've seen parties that have had all members in the mid-30s get bounced 4 or 5 times with this flag set with the high scaling that we've gotten. Crab Cake's having 2 fiends down, gonna go through, use the intel that her teammate has gotten, finds that sweet armor for the night, taking the fight with the triple Agama Red Giant. That's going to be a huge chunk of experience, because with 4 orbs lit, that's 400% XP gain focused on 2 party members. And oh my word, Spellzap is taking the grind on Warmech.
Yeah, I saw Spellzap on the Verge of Destiny. I'm like, oh no. Oh no, we know where the Warmech is.
Oh no, the Warmech has Zap, but those are 3 ribbons. That is a Roostick and Inviscast. Spellzap could make a huge chunk of levels with a 400 times experience gained fight against a Warmech. If this works, I could see Crab Cakes going here as well, because this will be intel on the encounter table, on the or not just intel on the encounter table to know what the fight is, or where the fight is. This is knowing what will happen in that fight. And oh wait, there's a nuke.
Oh, nuke comes out.
This is
spoopy. We're gonna Saber. We're gonna see what we do. And a test swing. 3 hits. Ooh, and
2
nuke
nukes
comes out again. Yeah, that's not gonna be easy, even if it is technically possible. Ooh, and the worm's hitting pretty hard too.
Yep, Crab Cake's chowing down on a worm pack that's doing no favors, as Oslato checked the red D chest in Carrie's floor and found the Opal Bracelet +2. That is another excellent piece of armor for one of those mages.
Oh, it looks like we were intentionally downing the rest of our party, and we're going to try and concentrate all of our experience on Dam.
I understand. Meanwhile, Spellzap deciding, you know, there's a fast encounter right off the reset. Why not just head to Toph and... oh, never mind. Gonna open it up and then leave, I guess? I figured Spellzap was gonna start diving and seeing about doing a Toph grind. Instead, trying to go find more gear that CC might have checked before. Just looking at their team notes. The only thing they're not allowed to do is screen share, but they are allowed to share an open doc with notes and maps as with intel of relevance. And yep, Spellzap picking up that same opal armor that CC's got as CC frees the princess and moves into Toph.
Checking these boxes here, finding not really much. Playing our pretty loot. And working through this mid-Topher, which is a somewhat new flag here, that preserves the Fiend floors in Topher and encounters on those, but takes out lots of the filler floors, which is great. I love this flag.
Yeah, no filler floors and added shortcuts. So, for instance, we see CC go immediately to the right. You could not normally do this. You'd have to normally circumnavigate the floor. But that was Oslato taking out Kraken, or Carrie, so that's 2 orbs lit for Krakenos. Meanwhile, Spellzap following CC into Topher, about to take Lich 2, and there we go. We have the normal Speed Bump Mark II, but trust us, this is not your normal Speed Bump Mark II.
Yeah, the Mark II Fiends have just been really hard right up until, right at the get-go, which we're not really used to here. I think 200 to 350 is the possible scalings on these, which is just insane here, as we can see. Crab Cake's pouring damage into Lich. They both get through it at about the same time, but man, that Lich took a lot of beating.
Yeah, that was a very passive Lich, much more passive than even we'd normally expect in vanilla. But what's good to know from Spellzap and Crabcake's side, since Spellzap tried that fight against Warmech, they know that 2 of the nuclears are out of the pool for these Fiend refights. That's some very valuable intel. Meanwhile, Oslotto finding Elfland was behind the Rod Lock. Not super valuable at this point unless you're looking for that wood shield or the pro rings for sale. That's actually a pretty nice thing to find, is the pro rings.
Yep, and we see Carry 2 having another nuclear, which is, okay to see. Did not take anybody out on Crabcake's party, and Crabcake's taking the fight extremely seriously, already tempering and fasting up the fighter, giving Carry quite a bit of respect there, and that was 400 damage right into Slat, too.
6 arms, 6 swords, and they went all for Dan.
Yep, poor Dan. Just getting some nice turn order here. 7 hits, 1093, and that is Carry 2 down. It looks like Spellzap forgetting that the shortcut is on and going the long way around. Maybe doing it for some levels, but...
Now here's the question, does CC go for it? Yes, CC is going for the X chest, which has the Masa in it, and finds, some errors in a Medusa that's, Gurnaga. Let's totally take it.
Yep, that is 100%. Just do it.
Oslotto picking up the incentive ribbons. That'll be his 3rd ribbon for his party. Big value, we know. We've seen a lot of damaging spells be used, but that level 32 knight that is Dan, swinging a vanilla Masa, that's, legit endgame. It's an upgrade over the... Oh, interesting. No, the Masa is going on the 1st knight, the lower level knight, I believe, unless Crabcakes did some shuffling just then.
What did Crabcakes just do?
She exited out and saved. She's got the intel on what the Fiend fights are. She saved her levels. Now she's got more levels, more intel, and a Masa to swing. Dan is at the front of the party, has the Masa, so there was a shift around as well.
Yep. And that Ice Sword doing absolutely nothing in Hans's hands.
Spellzap seeing crack out of Carry 2, loses 2 party members. But I'm assuming Spellzap at lower levels than CC is going to probably take that same measure, fight, exit, and dive back in. Right now, they've got the time leeway. Oslotto and Odoron are still 3 Fiends behind. Speaking of Fiends...
Oh, yep. We got the Bridge of Destiny here, so we'll probably find Warmech again.
And Odoron finding Provoka, gonna fight a Bicky and get the slab, which we know is kind of pointless.
Yep. Not really a lot of progression needed, just need to go and fight some Fiends.
I say pointless, but it's not so pointless. It's the chain that leads to the Saber Bonk, but still, it's a lot to do. They don't know they're far behind, but at this point, I'd say they need a lot going for them. I love the Bane strat check by Oslotto, but the Ninja goes down. This Tia is nothing to mess with. Meanwhile, Carry 2 refight by Crabcakes, taking some time, absorbing some damage, but not long for this world with all the nukes and the Masa swings and the whatnot. Lit 3 coming out, not having many nuke charges left, Only having the single black mage, I get that. And there's the Masa for Spell Zap. Does Spell Zap exit out and save it like CC did? Or does Spell Zap just continue the dive? Does do some armor kajiggering using that harm shirt as a equipable piece of armor. That's an upgrade. Not going to use the evade kit or stacks from the wood armor set on the black mage. Just wants better absorb. And the resistance.
And so we're going on. We wouldn't have healed up if we were exiting out. So, and I like this play because, your time is the latest party member to leave, right? And so, if you take this risk, and it's a little bit of a risk, but if you take this risk and it pays off, then your time is extremely, that much lower.
We're only getting through Kraken 2 potentially here. We still have Tier 2, we still have Chaos to come. And the more intel they've got, we see that Spellzap's got the thief or the ninja up front with the knight in back. Meanwhile, Crabcakes is running both knights in front with Dan, her main knight, with the Masa in slot 2. This variance to see what happens from Kraken's script. They can compare notes if they have to reset out. This is very big brain plays. I approve.
Yep. Kraken not really seeming to have a whole lot here for our runners.
A lot of arms.
17, a lot of arms. 17 arm hit into the slot 1 there, which is exactly where Crabcakes wanted that to go.
It's not Dan face down on the floor. That is very confusing to longtime viewers, but this is the way it is. Dan getting his revenge.
Yeah, it looks like we're having some trouble getting the damage out. Oh, never mind. There we go. 9 hits, 727, and Crabcakes is through Kraken.
Fast menuing some heal pots. Gonna go ahead and use a life. Uses life 1, not life 2. I don't know if we saw life 2.
I'm pretty sure that Crabcakes has life 2, but I feel like it's like level... I guess.
That is one nice thing about notes that have the magic in them. We can find it if we look. There's level 5 slot 1.
Level 5, so don't want to use those charges necessarily. It's commingled with brews and heal.
Yes. Well, I mean, the big thing is life 2, you save the heal pots, and you save the... Ooh, Blizzard! Tier 2, doing some ice damage shenanigans. There's no black mage alive. There's a black mage alive. Lock 2 coming out from the white mage. Gonna go with Cure 3. Gonna go with Saber Bonk. We got Temper. Nope, we got Lock. Gonna try and keep the party alive. Stop comes out. Does not land on anyone but the white mage, unfortunately. The healer of the party.
Right
was that a wait? Oh my word, that was a wait. Fire 3 coming out. This Tia 2 has multiple elemental magic. Lock 2 coming out, trying to eliminate evasion. Normally Tia's known for her absorption, but the way the randomizer works, she could just be a very dodgy lady. Fire 3 coming out, takes the white mage out. Masa swing comes out from Dan, 1,500 damage. That is dragon ending damage, 700 more. That's 2,200 done just with those 2 swings. Another swing coming out from the knight, 430. Blaze comes out, cooking but not killing. Another 700. We got swing, wait. Will the Ice Sword do anything? The Ice Sword gets the kill. Hans ending Tia. That is CC through, only a run away from Chaos. Meanwhile, Spell Zap down to the Black Mage and the Knight. Quad X coming out from the Black Mage, not landing. Or was that Quad X not landing on the Knight? I could not see.
I thought it was Quad X not landing on the Knight, and there's Bane not landing on the Knight as well.
Well, the pro rings and or ribbons, and there we go. Spell Zap through all that level or the experience going on to a solo knight. Gonna bring the party back up with those life casts. Meanwhile, we have Chaos. We have Crabcakes casting Lock. Wall coming out on the one party member without the ribbon. Lit 2, that's nothing. Chaos is tickling them. Fast coming out on Dan, moved into the third slot with the Roost Stick. Looks like Expert coming out from the Knight. Gonna just up Roost Stick coming out and Temper. So removing resistances with Expert unfortunately does not land. Lock 2 going out to cut evasion, that lands. Roost Stick coming out for evasion on Dan. Temper coming out on Dan. Expert, try again. Lock 2, try again. Saber and Lock. CC wants Kraken, or wants this Chaos to barely be able to shimmy, let alone dodge. Expert not landing. Lock 2 coming out. This is going to be a fairly easy to hit, but possibly very absorbent Chaos. But as it stands, swings coming in, more tempers. What will be the result of this Masa swing? 4 hits for 220.
Ooh.
Okay, that's not enough, and that Kraken just one-shot the Black Mage. Life coming out on the Black Mage from the Knight up front. Cure 3 coming out. Unfortunately, did not get the turn order that CC wanted. More Saber Bonk, and there's a Nuclear. That's going to take the Black Mage down, nearly kill Hans. Hans is going to Cure 3, Lit 2 not getting the kill on Hans or the White Mage. Saber Bonk coming out. CC wants as much power as can be dealt. The White Mage, or the Black Mage, is brought back up. Cure 3, just choosing the draws, tempering up more, wants as many stacks of buffs as possible. Ink coming out, another does nothing cast by Chaos. 547, that's more damage for sure. Cure 3 coming out to keep Dan alive, but this is a lot. Oh, yep. Cure 4.
There's
okay.
Cure 4. That's okay though. This is okay. I mean, we have one Nuclear to survive, but this is okay, I think. But yeah, I was thinking all along there, we haven't seen Cure 4 out of any of the Fiends yet. So
there's a Nuclear. That's a White Mage surviving, going to wait. That's a swing coming out. Ice 2 finishes off the White Mage. Chaos taking 700 damage in 7 hits. Thunder coming out. The more that those skill scripts roll, the sooner we get back to that Nuclear. Yeah. But 10 hits, 900. G in chat for CCs. Meanwhile, Spell Zap down to man mode with the Knight swinging 220. Not enough. Thunder coming out, not killing it. 600, that's more like it. Will Chaos go down for Spell Zap? 600 damage again. Swing once more, 4 hits for 207. Keep on swinging. A and Pray 220. Lit 3 taking that fighter down, or the Knight to a knee, but 125 is still survivable for most things. That's not Nuclear. Another hit misses that stacked and evaded Knight. More swings. A and Pray. Will we see the kill? We see the kill. GG's to Spell Zap and Crab Cakes.
GG's to the Gaming Gators, and we'll see if I want to come have a chat.
That was impressive coordination. The intel that Spell Zap and Crab Cakes were able to give to each other. The gear they had in the end with that Masa. The man mode at the end was very impressive. As they were doing that though, after everything, after all the searching and the time, Odoron and Oslato have actually made it through, taking care of all 4 Fiends, and now have made it through the checks, got the Power Bonk location. So we will probably see Oslato and Odoron take the dive in the next 2 to 3 minutes. I can imagine. At this point, they know their opponents have finished, but if they plan to finish it out, they will be going sooner than later.
Yep, just a few minutes behind. Not too bad, really, here for the Krakenos. Trying to get a sense of what kind of levels we're at here. But Odoron just kind of heading right in to see what's here, maybe take some levels, but maybe just start on the Fiends.
At this point, any dive is value. because the intel to be gained, we know Odoron's about to fight a somewhat normally-ish level limped Chaos, or Lich. Oslato looking like he's going to dance around and check some of the boxes. We know there's some good stuff in here. Dark Moon? What about the Dr. Pepper? Oh, there's something above that. All I know is I'm a member of Fansville. State for the win.
Okay.
Dr. Pepper, commercial, tangent-related jokes aside, Odoron through with the fade kill on Lich 2 on to carry Slore as Oslato makes his way into Topher as well.
Yeah, and Odoron already on to Carrie's floor here. Expect them to have a little bit. And we're taking encounters. Maybe we're trying to do the halfway thing again, where we go and we grab the Masa and we get some experience doing it, then we save and try our real run.
It's something you can totally do if you've got exit on that white mage. Regardless, this is the dive, this is the do. Honestly, with their levels, it could be a bit of a hitch, but we've seen CC and Spellzap make it through with disparate parties. Well, Spellzap having the same party as the Kraken has, but very interesting. And it looks like both of our runners for Gaming Gators opting out of the interview. They have deserved their rest. GG's to Gaming Gators. Ooh, Carrie has Poison Touch. I don't think we saw that before, but Poison Stab for Odoron. Temper going on the Poison Knight. Cure coming out. Did he have Cure 4 there, or did he not use Cure 4? No, going with Heal 3 to heal the rest of the party. Cure 4 is buffed in these flags where it can cure status effects. Oh, well, that sucks. Status effect death can only be cured by life, and unless life is on that knight, that white mage is going to stay down, and there goes the black mage. Odoron not having a good time dealing with this Kraken. Swings with the ninja sword, swirl coming out. Oh my word! And a nuclear.
I remember we saw the nuclear before. I did not remember swirl, which is always a treat, so to speak.
Yes, the highest level elemental spells, quote unquote, are the skills. Swirl being the water skill. Nuclear is also a skill, which is why you have nuclear as a skill, nuke as a spell.
Yep.
The skills are not acquirable by the players. The fun way that the randomizer has the things the randomizer has taught me about how this game actually works and the ways this game has been made to work by the randomizer community always impress.
Yeah, I'm impressed because, you know, I mean, this is a pretty. There's a lot of bugs in Final Fantasy. A lot of bugs in the original card, and they fixed them all. And it's kind of wild the kind of game it is when it's all working correctly. It's actually really deep.
I mean, it was a good game in the first place, but the idea that there were literally spells that did nothing? In fact, there is still, I believe, a stat in the game that is not used.
Yep.
The intelligence stat.
Intelligence is not used because most of the formulas in the game are broken in such a way that you could tell the intent of the authors. But intelligence does not appear in any formula in the game at all, even in the original version. So, yeah, and like Meridian is saying, there is a flag to make use of it in beta, and you can sort of make it do something, but it's just unclear exactly what that would do. Plus, the balance of the game is very nice the way it is right now, where you kind of get magic early, and then your melee kind of comes to the fore at the end.
Speaking of betas, one of the best beta flags we've got is the extended alternate fiends. Ozelotto has constantly badgered me about it, and the fact that we've included things like Bicky and this weird vengeful mermaid with holy magic powers.
Yeah.
I will enjoy seeing someone fighting a Bubbles recarbonated with Fade as a primary spell. Yep. Ozelotto getting some grind on some metal slimes as Odoron rediving, taking on Lich 2. Lich 2 proving to be, again, just a bit of experience and some time.
Yeah, time is probably worse than anything. Just sort of taking up space. Ozelotto doing some grind here. Is at that kind of like high 20s, low 30s kind of levels where you really start thinking about it being time. So maybe just.
I mean, we saw Cece have 700 hit points on her knight when she went into that dive, or primary knight Dan when she went into the dive, which was enough to survive the chaotically high-powered spells and skills that Odoron is now feeling once again from Carry 2. So, I mean, keeping the knight alive with a life cast is a solution to this.
And Ozelotto exiting out and visiting
Melmond, I believe.
Pots. Just having a save.
Must not have had a house in hand. Interesting, the Cure 4 sword is the defense sword, so that's being equipped to the ninja. Obviously, it doesn't cast Ruse, it casts Cure, but either way, it is an effective, high-statted sword.
Yeah, not too bad. Pretty good sword that we found in this seed.
And there we go. That is a knight and a ninja alive. Carry has been defeated by Odoron, so he is our first runner from Kraken to make it to the seafloor, where he can potentially pick up the Massa Vanilla, which is a better sword than what has been swung. And Ozelotto nuking his way some golems, going to get a huge chunk of experience for that.
Yeah, when the game serves them up to you on the platter like that, you probably don't, not take it.
Like this from Ozelotto, just saying, can I use a Quake stick? In fact, yeah, he is wait, Quake waiting. He is, get it, and good.
Turn 2.
Man, if they had that intel this entire time, because that was a fairly substantial amount of time fighting Lich.
Yep, but now we'll have it. And Odoron opening the Massa box.
The rather pedestrianly defended Massa box, because for whatever reason they moved the Massa into a known location that's easier to get to than its vanilla location on Kraken's floor, or Tia's floor, I should say, and yet they didn't put a war mech in front of it.
It's rather nice of them, considering where they decided to put it. I mean, you want people to be able to have a Massa. And equipping the Massa on that night, I'm pretty sure go see ourselves about Kraken 2.
Now, do you put the Masa on the Ninja, or do you put the Masa on the Knight? I'm assuming the Knight, because the Ninja only gets really strong in the high 30s when you start getting 6 or more hits.
Yeah,
In my
and
experience.
the fighter has the hit percentage bonus too, so probably is just making better use of swords in general.
Oof, Oslato goes down to just the Knight, and then Carrie says, ooh, one target, I'ma cut that up, and ices the Knight with 6 blades.
Yep, unfortunate there because Oslato's, doing pretty well in the levels department. Must just, maybe needs another run here. Knows the patterns now.
Yeah, the now knowing he can just second turn swing or quake stick the Lich, it's less to deal with. Roost stick coming out for evasion stacks on Odoron's side. Gonna start trying Brack strats because why not? At this point, they know they're out of it. They just want to make a point.
And just in case, taking all the same actions, leaving nothing to chance, and Lich 2 goes down.
Oslato taking on the carry fight yet again as Kraken fire threes his way through a Ninja. Swing from the Knight, only getting 158, not doing much. Gonna switch to Saber Wait. Doesn't want to use any spell cast, it seems, or even some items. Goes for another swing, 7 hits for 1700. Or 1170. That is a lot more damage. Swing Wait. 180 from Kraken is responded by 570 from that Knight. The Knight doing plenty of work. Will it get the kill? No, not at 298. Lit 2 tickling. That's an electrified Kraken, it seems. Gets the next swing in, finds 422 and gets the kill.
Big hit there. Now on to Tia 2 and Odoron, getting pretty close here to just making it through for Team Kraken host.
Getting the intel, getting past Kraken. Meanwhile, Oslato, the Knight fell down, so he had to res it, and then the White Mage died. So Oslato dealing with carry that has not been seen before. Oh, Iron Gulls with Bane. That's delicious.
Yeah, that's very special of them. And we tickle them with some fire, too.
And glance, because who needs to not to be petrified?
Luckily, we're wearing all of our ribbons and things. So, Oslato wipes again to carry 2. Asks probably Odoron, has some words, and then asks Odoron exactly how they even made it through.
One Iron Gull down, second Iron Gull shall fall. Glare doing nothing, as you said, with 3 ribbons and potentially some pro rings. It's good. There's 1700 experience for your party members with the 4-man up. That's level 30 starting there. That's makes this fight a little more potentially doable as we bring on Tia 2.
Second turn, we fell into the crack and are terminated. We have 0 charges of zap. We are sad. So, rusing up, walling up our Black Mage, taking a swing and not even managing to connect. Ooh, big hit into that White Mage, 700 damage. Blizzard not really doing a lot. Bruising up, another swing, 92 damage off of a crit. Still bruising, 47 damage. Stop, just coming out and not really doing anything. Bruising. Now switching over to Saber. we're just gonna chip away here with this ninja, who's I'm pretty sure ablative. Just Tia just not really doing a lot, tickling with kind of level 2 spells. Ooh, and some nice damage there. Could not quite make out what it was on my screen, but looking at
Tia seems to have an elemental attack equipped to each one of her heads because she just keeps spitting them out.
Yep. Crack coming out and ineffective. Quad X not effective on the knight. Ooh, that was kind of a low swing. We're gonna do some more temper or saber.
I like the cheeky Brack strats.
Yeah, just keep hitting it. Saber, Brack. Bane ineffective. Saber, Brack. Broke into pieces, and we're on Chaos on Odoron's side. Odoron.
That is a
Enough life.
huge number. So that is a large number of steps down into the table of spells and casting, so I doubt Oslato will try and match that, but Oslato can try and match that potentially because he finally got through carry.
Yep. Running from these waters here now. While Odoron gets ready to face Chaos here. Saber. Fast. Wall. Lit 2 coming out, not really doing anything. And that roost stick. Buffing. Chaos 138 into the ninja. Casting Lock. Casting X for not effective. Saber. Lock. Invis 2. Ice 2 coming out and not really doing much of anything. Invis 2 stacks. Saber. Saber. Lock onto Chaos. Fight, Saber, X-Fur, we try again. Ineffective, I believe. Lock comes out. Chaos swings and doesn't quite take out the White Mage, but comes very close. Cure 4 on that White Mage. 8 hits, 235 is not going to do it. 2 and 2. Zap, Chaos, ineffective. Nuclear comes out. We know this is the big one. It does not. Rolls pretty low for Odoron here. With Lit 2 coming out again. Heal 3. Healing up the party. Zap, ineffective. 3 hits, 255. 5 hits, probably a little bit better there. As Kraken, as Oslato has used this time to catch up and is now on Tia 2. Zap is still ineffective. Try again. Ooh, and Cure 4 comes out.
Here's hoping Zap lands, because that's a reset Chaos.
Yep.
7 hits for 770 does a good amount of damage.
Yep, we're at 700, 800 damage. We'll probably make it through. We are really hoping that Zap works for us, though.
Switching to mute strats as well,
Ooh.
and Nuclear again rolls over.
I did not catch if that mute landed.
Mute did not land, sadly.
Tier 3 on to the Knight. Bane not going to be very effective against our party. Zap's still ineffective. 10 hits for less than 500. This Chaos is just not being extremely cooperative here.
Half of me wants to check what Chaos had for health. CC in chat giving a Komodo hype. GG CC, well run.
Mew ineffective. And Sword more effective than it had been. Oh, and no more Mew casts. And that is a downed Chaos for Odoron. Single G's in chat for Krakenos. While we see Oslato on Tia. We know Tia 2 has just a bunch of kind of ticklish magic. Hasn't been that mean to our parties thus far. We're just kind of taking our time. Blaze comes out, but doesn't really do anything. We're just going to leave the Black Mage kind of down.
Well, I have the intel as to how thick that Chaos was, and
Go away.
I'll hold it for when we get some chat, because I would believe we will be getting Oslato and Odoron in,
No, bad to you.
hopefully.
That's some sort.
All I can say is these have obviously been pretty spooky fiends.
Yep. Very... kind of having some hidden issues sometimes in their scripts. And that is Oslato through Tia 2 and onto the Chaos fight. Plenty of heal pots. Good levels. Probably just have to see how it does, but looks pretty well set up.
I find it funny that Kraken, Tia 2, Kraken 2, Carry 2, the refight fiends are actually worth less experience than the original fiend fights.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. You're not really in there for experience.
These are random
It is-
things you only find out when you dig into the ROM.
Yeah.
Oslato in with all the intel from his teammate, knows there's nuclear, knows there's Cure 4, knows that Zap isn't going to win the fight.
Zap never lands, so we're not going to try it, probably.
Has heal 2 to cure some chip damage. Doesn't have the Saberbonk in optimal position, but switches over to Ruse for survivability anyways. Trying Brack strats. Okay, well Zap ain't gonna work. Why not Brack? Exfer comes out and does not land. Well, that's gonna make Brack little to never effective. If it wasn't already. Exfer coming out again. Will it land? Oh. That is a landed Exfer, so Brack may actually work now. There's no more resistances on Chaos. Nope, going with Zap. So Exfer and Zap, will Zap land now that Chaos has been made defenseless? These are fun things. I like this variety. It helps with the monotony. But nuclear, a little more effective against Oslato's party than Zap was against Chaos, but there is still functioning life gain. Saberbonk coming out, Zap coming out. Only one charge of Heal 3 or Cure 4 available. Gonna go with Heal 3, Lit 2 doing some tickle damage, but not enough to not be countered by Heal 3. But those are still some fairly low party member levels, given the fact we know Chaos has a lot more than nuclear to use. There's the Saberbonk coming out. There is a Zap attack from the Ninja. Or was that Bane? I couldn't see her there. Zap, Bane, Brack. Oh, that's a Brack from the Black Mage. Expert has landed, so he's trying everything. Heal 2 from the White Mage to bring everything a little less down. Ink coming out, that's free turn by Chaos. Brat coming out, no function.
No.
Bane coming out, do we have an
No.
effect? No.
And
This is
Bane again.
This
Oh,
is
no.
literally memes for the win against Chaos, and I approve. Mute comes
guess-
out, does it land? No. We have the expert, we do not have the mute.
I guess we can start swinging again since we saw the Cure 4.
Brat comes out ineffective. Nuclear comes out again, quite effective. Does take out the White Mage.
Ooh.
Swing for 4 hits for, what was that, 900 damage? Okay, well the sword's doing a lot now, so you might as well use it. Gonna cure 3 though, just to keep his knight alive. Not gonna try lifing it up. Not gonna try just keeping the swing. Goes for the Bane, doesn't get the effect. Chaos goes for Bane, doesn't get the effect. It's like Bane for Bane. There's a Bane to counteract the Bane that Chaos used to counteract the Bane that Tony cast. Zap coming out from the knight, from the Black Mage. Ninja swings for just under 100. Oh wow, that's over 1100 from Alex. So the Masa doing its job. I think at this point this is literally just going to be swing. Thunder taking the ninja down to a knee. Swing for 111. Swing for 958. Chaos not long for this world. Almost all meme possibilities have been exhausted by Oslato before going on with the kill. GG's in chat.
GG's.
Oslato finishing up for Krakenos at a race time of 134 as opposed to Gaming Gators who finished up at 105. What a race.
Yeah, quite the race.
Thank you for trying memes. That's all I have to say.
You are most welcome. We both did.
Yeah, they just didn't work.
They did not work.
Expert landed.
Expert did land.
That was pretty good.
Expert. Odoram got there first and was like, Expert will land at this point. I was like, okay. We're gonna go with it. I got Mute, I got Zap, I got Bane, I got Brack. I think I was gonna try Confuse. I was like, that's stupid. That never works.
Well, the thing is, as you saw, this Chaos was at 4,300 hit points, had Cure 4, Bane, and Quad X, as well as Nuclear Thunder.
Yep.
So it was not an easy Chaos to meme, and you memed to the very end.
I did. Yeah, I did get the Brack on Kraken too. That made me very happy.
Yeah, and you found the Quake Stick effect on Lich too, which was useful for how many times you had to fight him.
To be fair, I should have remembered that the Black Mage had that wood set because Carrie didn't kill him. So I just switched them around and I was like, oh yeah, he's not gonna die. But, I mean, I think I can speak for the Krakenos to say that, we went into this thinking this is going to be a rough go. These are 2 legendary runners, and, at least game 1, we kept it close. This game, the early game, it just wrecked us.
How did they get through the early game quick?
Yeah.
They had a bit of convenient coordination for items being found and who ran where, but the big thing I believe was just how many X chests and finding both of the early ribbons gave CC enough damage to get through the fights that really gated y'all.
Well, it was Astos.
The
Astos
major
fight,
thing
yeah.
was quad-Xing Astos, basically. It was
Okay, so she had the levels on the black to actually do it.
Yeah, she was at level 15 or 14 when she took that fight, so she was able to keep the Black Mage in and get that kill.
Yeah, she did say she took 2 fighters.
Yeah. And
Now,
it was working out based on the loadout that we saw in the seed, anyway.
Yeah, it was not a very friendly seed when it came to Magic, and I think the only thing that saved us from being in a real bad spot was finding that ice stick. That ice one stick put in all work against Astos, down that white mage, and I'm like, he's down! Go!
That was an impressive caster item fix.
It was that stupid fighter that just had so much HP, and I was swinging and missing. The weapons weren't great, and I was like, I mean, we didn't find a katana, didn't find a vorpal, so there was that.
No.
Did anybody find those?
No
one.
Nobody.
Wow.
Nobody found. I mean, I think there was the sun sword.
Yep. Yeah, I had the sun sword.
And that was the
fire
best.
sword +2. The sun was +3.
Yep.
And then you had the defense sword, whatever.
Which was garbage. That
Whatever.
sword was that was the cure. That was the cure. Yeah, cure 2 sword.
He had an ice
Cure 3
5.
sword.
Man,
Oh.
I wish I had an ice 5. Yeah, that defense sword was just trash. I gave it to the ninja because it wasn't doing anything on the fighter. And I never used it. I mean, like I said, I used the quake stick. I zapped Lich. Yeah, I zapped Lich 1, and I did confuse Carry. And I think I got Tia with my last Bane.
Yeah,
And
you got Tia, I think, with your last Bane when Tia was almost dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was...
TXP?
No, Tia 1.
Oh, I thought I zapped Tia 1.
No, did you zapped Kraken?
Oh, I zapped Kraken?
You zapped... We memed all 4 of them. All 4 of the original Fiends, we memed them because at that point we were, you're trying to save as much time as you can. But I remember you saying, I just zapped Kraken. I was like, get out of here. Come on.
First turn, too.
First turn, I know. It was great. Had the early game not put us in a big hole, we would have actually made a lot of time up on those.
Well, you really did.
Well, I mean, I will admit that carry 2 fight was very unpleasant. Until I figured out the best way past it. And then the turn 1 Brack on the Kraken 2, I was like, well, there's resources saved. But don't sleep on that wood set on mages. It is a lifesaver.
I pointed it out before the race. I was like, that forced black with the wood set is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Odoran and me, we were talking before we got in. It's like, do we take the fighter or don't we? And it's like, and Odoran rolled the seat first. She's like, well, forced fighter. Well, that settles that debate. And I'm kind of glad we didn't take the red mage because, yeah, wouldn't have been useful early game.
And the legendary swords on the white mage literally meant nothing. So
That was sad.
Did you remember that was on there, Odoran? Because I did not.
I did, but we never found a legendary sword.
There
Not
was
a
nothing
single
to
one.
swing. There's nothing to swing.
Nope, not a single one. In this flag set, the legendary sword doesn't mean as much because there's no Excal, which would be the one that you really want to swing. And you know what? And the moss is only in one place, and it's deep. And once again, I have to mention, Marsh split and the Sea split, 2nd seed in a row. I think 3rd now, actually.
you're welcome.
Yes, Thavian, you started this. Putting this blame all on you.
Hey, you won that race.
Did. It's very good. That was good. But I mean, we went into this knowing that this was going to be a real challenging race against 2 really, really, really superior runners, like 2 of the best. And I'm happy with the effort that we put in. I'm happy that I'm happy Odoran was here to help me from not quitting, not giving up at that when I wiped the tee that last time. And yeah, I'm glad I can get some memes out of it.
That's what it's all about, really, in the end.
No question.
Entertainment and a tale. Well, with that, how about we jump on to final questions? Odoran. Or
Final thoughts.
Yeah, that.
I just want to thank RPG Limit Break for letting us put on a show. Everyone who watched and all of y'all who came together to make this broadcast happen.
And not Odoran.
Yay, I don't have a name anymore. First of all, again, echoing not Oslodo's comments, yeah, thank you to everyone who did the restream and stepped up to do a lot of the work. I want to say Crab Cakes, Spell Zap, It was an honor to race against you. You were the first 2 runners I ever watched this game, like ever. The first race I ever watched was the finals between you two. So giving the opportunity to go head to head, and at least in the first seed, not being that far behind, and saying that there was a bit of some scared nerves there. That's huge. I really appreciate that, and we're going to be rooting for the Gators to win it all. And the Kraken O's will be back to brack another year. We guarantee it.
Sofnum, any words?
Just like to thank our trackers, and our restreamer Darkmoon, and thank you for Thavian Hawk for being in the booth with me. Those trackers were Mechlin and Rax. Thank you, and I'll leave you to take us away.
Very well. As you said, thank you very much to our tracker duo of Rax and Mechlin. The notes made a huge difference for our sanity. Darkmoon, obviously, thank you for the restream. We would literally not be here if you weren't here. Thank you very much to Kraken O's and Gaming Gators for the race. Good luck with the later bracket rounds, Gaming Gators. Thank you for RPG Limit Break for being our gracious host for this race. For anyone who might just be hopping on and seeing this race and wants to know what's what, this is the Final Fantasy Randomizer. Feel free to go to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. There you'll find the randomizer as well as links to our wiki with all of our information on the randomizer itself, all the fun things you do, and links to the Discord, which will also be here in Discord chat. You will find a great community. Tons of fun people to hang out with and talk about randomizer shenanigans or just vanilla topics in the game. That all being said, I have been Thavian Hawk. Thank you again, Sofnum, for co-comming with me. You all have a great evening.